The worst thing you can do as a woman is not be nonchalant. And this comes as an ex-lover girl that used to be like, I'm not gonna hold anything back, I'm gonna go full force for it. When I was 21, I met this guy in Miami. Within 2 weeks, I was like, listen, I'm gonna fly to LA. I can't let this go. In a month, I was kind of like, what are we? I invested all this time into you. I wanna know where this is going. I think as women, the worst thing we have is this idea of scarcity mindset, whereas men have this idea of plenitude. Men not think that you are gonna be like the last good woman they're ever gonna meet. And no, they can go to the club, they can pick up some girl, and she's probably gonna start folding his laundry and feeding him within a week. Shit literally all comes down to the chase. No one wants to hear it and nobody wants to play games, but that's kind of what it is. Like about the guy that's like way too much on you. It's very off-putting. It's like, dude, what's wrong with you? When you over invest into men and you prioritize them, you give them all of the power. Being nonchalant puts you at an advantage. Personally, with dating moving forward, I know that if I want to actually get to know someone and not romanticize this idea of them and fall in love with their potential, I have to date several people at one time, because then that way I literally cannot physically prioritize you. Eventually I can wean that down and start to see, okay, who really is a good person for me. This is why you will notice that men end up on top most of the time, because they've taken a really long time to finally settle down with somebody. If you draw back your energy, you'll realize how much oftentimes the ideas that you've created in your head are false and this person's not even as great as you thought they were. A lot of times in my own personal life, we invest so much into a man for him to pick up everything I invested into him and then go to the next girl that's like literally not even paying him any attention and treating her beautifully. It's not to say that you have to be nonchalant forever. If they're not texting you, don't text them. If they're not asking you to go out, don't ask to go out. If you feel like that's just not the person that you are, then you need to go look specifically for someone who is exactly like you. Otherwise, you are setting yourself up for disaster. Stop taking things personally as well, because people have their own shit going on, and stop making someone's validation and acceptance of you your self-image and self-worth. I have dated men that have treated women horribly before and then treated me wonderfully, and then I've also dated men that have treated me horribly and treated the next woman beautifully. The way to leave relationships unscathed or any type of situationship is to just not over invest yourself or to take anything personal that people do. Move at the pace that they're moving. If you've ever watched Miss Sprinkle, she always talks about how the more men invest into you money-wise, the harder it is for them to leave. Women, this applies also, is just with our energy and kind of like our sexual presence and stuff. The slower you are to sleep with them, the slower you are to invest your energy into them, the slower you are to center them into your life, the easier it will be for you to leave or not care when things are not going right.